I will never go back to just like one-on-one coaching. For me, a mastermind is absolutely where it's at. Number one, I will just say some of the friendships that I have formed in these masterminds are lifelong friendships. So that's just like the personal side of it. But number two, from a business standpoint, what an incredible opportunity to not only network, obviously, with others in your space, even if they're in different industries, just like, kind of in the trenches in the online space, but what you learn from what other people are going through in a one-on-one environment, you don't get that. You don't get that. But like, for instance, with your mastermind, being able to come together, for those group calls and be able to sit. And what I love about yours too is it was a small enough group to where you were, oh, your voice was always heard. It was a very close-knit group to where everybody was really learning off of each other. And it was just such a collaborative environment, which until you're in that space, you don't realize the value of it. The other thing I love about it too is that there's always somebody in the mastermind that's a few steps ahead of you, which is really powerful. I think sometimes even having a coach, you can even subconsciously say to yourself, even if you have the coach, like, oh, yeah, well, that's easier for her to say because, she's like, she's making it, right? She's making tons of money and she's doing amazing, right? But being able to even be in a collaborative space where people in the group that are even a little bit further you, it just seems a little bit more doable, right? Because they're just maybe a few steps ahead of you. They're not 20 steps ahead of you, right? Or whatever. And so I think that part of it can be very empowering to be able to even be in service to other people who are maybe you're 10 steps ahead of. And number one, it's empowering. And I think it's also be, like I said, it's great to be in service. But then also I think what that experience did for me was that it also gave me a little bit of confidence too. So I was like, oh dang, I actually know more than I think I do. And then that's not to say like, oh, look at him, they're not doing, but I mean, it was like when I would speak and there'd be questions, I'd be like, oh, where did that come from? I actually know more than I think I do. So for me, a mastermind, that's why I love it so much, is really just, collaboratively how much you can learn from that experience.